Hello viewers, this is another happy Valentine Day, another show, Triple E show. Today is another show. Mambo tunaongelea leo ni kuhusiana na mambo na tourism. That's a topic today. As you can see on my left, katikati hapa is our guest. Mwisho ni jamaa mnamjua kila wakati, mnamjua vizuri. Mzito, introduce yourself.
So it's another good day, siku ya wapenda nao. Unajua leo tumetembea tu kila mahali tunaona tu mapenzi. Tukashangaa kwani hii wakati wa
kwani kunaenda aje?
Kwani COVID itambui mapenzi? Lakini so tuna appreciate pia it's a God given day and always in Triple E show. So we are always here to entertain, educate. So leo tunakuwa entertained, educate na tunakuwa empowered about the tourism part. So we get to understand community inatuambia nini about then we have about tourism. So I go by the name Ken. The show is Atesh Graphics, show ni Triple E show.
Yeah. Ken, before I come to our guest, let me pick up our main sponsors, that is Bura Zenoni. Yeah, Bura Zenoni, as you see, hapa nimeshika maji. This image mnaiona is direct from Bura. Bura themselves, they have their borehole. Maji watoi huko kwingine pe tunafikiria, maji yao ni fresh. That's what I can start from Bura Zenoni. Bura Zenoni is an hotel stroke a restaurant. For those people who are traveling from Nairobi to Nakuru to Nairobi, Bura Zenoni is situated at a place called Barnabas. From the highway to Barnabas, just 20 meters.
Yeah.
Not 20 meters. See 20 meters or 20 kilometers?
20.
It's just 20 meters from the highway up to Bura Zenoni. Yeah. For those who can do your booking, you can do your booking online. You can go to www.burazenoni.com. They have a variety of things to the place for cuisine, food, kienyeji, chakula kienyeji. This is the place to be. For those who don't want to do their meeting, public meeting, private meeting, they have a good, conducive environment for their meeting. Their phone number, if you want to call, it is very simple, 0723-499-599. Call them anytime, any minute, and you book your space. You have kids, you want a place for them to play, that's a place to be. As you do your meeting, watoto mnawacha pale, wanafanya mchezo. Another sponsor is Senji Barber Shop. They are found in Nakuru town, a building called Shamut Plaza, 4th floor. Hizi looks ambazo mnaziona zimepigwa huko hivi nzuri, done from Shenzi. Umekutengeneza na umetengeneza vizuri, ndevu iko sawa kabisa.
Alafu ni mali wanachukua muda wao.
Yeah, haraka. Hawana mbio, unatengenezwa vizuri pole. Also, not forgetting the main people, that's Atesh Graphics. Atesh Graphics found at Shamut Plaza, 6th floor. Saizi kwanza wana offer ya Valentine. Wana offer Valentine offer ilianza jana. That is that jana ilikuwa date
13.
Yeah, their offer started on 12th, inaenda up to the 16th. Go there with your loved one, either parent, your couples, your children. Go there, get a good portrait pictures. Fine pictures. Offer naambiwa 5 pictures at 500 shillings. Mazee, that's a good offer. A full studio mazee na wapiga picha 5 na so 5. Guys, if you're in Nakuru, that's a place to go for indoor photo shoot. Now, Ken,
Yep.
give us the topic of today and the key question as I give you this opportunity to introduce our guests.
So about tumesema tukianza tulikuwa talking about tourism na tulikuwa tunataka kuona about the way tourism iko mostly tukiangalia this time ya COVID na before COVID na what is expected maybe after this COVID period. So we had the main topic ya today ilikuwa tourism as an opportunity. So tuone hii opportunity za kuja ile tourism. So tusiangalie pengine in the base of the country ama the minister wa tourism anasema nini ama akitupatia the directives. So watu kama sisi pia tourism inaweza tu fire kiasi gani. So we had the main question. The main question was does tourism develop really have a big help to the poverty? So poverty is tourism, how can it maybe reduce
mambo na poverty.
Yeah.
So viewers, I know tutaki tujue tourism ambapo kuna poverty inaingilia wapi. Na okay, who is he to us?
So unajua angekuwa mbali kidogo ningekuwa na hiyo opportunity ya kumintroduce but since he's here ako hapa atuambie ni nani a bit profile kidogo and what he does.
Profile.
Karibu sana.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
So my name is Francis Njue. I'm a tourism person. My passion, my interest, my everything is tourism. That's all what I do. I developed tourism interest way when I was, I think, in class 4. So I remember when I was growing up in Sharks, I used to walk around 16 kilometers to the tarmac. Kwenda kuona wazungu wakipita na hizo maradrova zao nini.
Na maturubini.
So almost every Saturday I would go there. Wakipita wakienda Mount Kenya huko kufanya hizo mountain climbing. Then of course nikirudi nyumbani lazima
kwa vile you are taking something sense, sanitize first. Sanitize. Yeah. So as you sanitize, naona director ananiita huko nyuma, sijui hata kuniambia nini. Tupatie profile, acha tuone director.
So I used to go, nikirudi nyumbani jioni lazima nitachapa mazi.
Kwa sababu nichukue time kwenda kuona wazungu watu wakifanya mlima.
Kufanya jobs at home. So that is way how my tourism passion started. So even when I was finishing high school, I knew my focus and what I needed to do was tourism. So I did tourism management, and later on I did IT. So that has been my small journey. So after I joined now the workforce, the hustling life, I was lucky to have volunteered in one of the companies in Kenya. That was Wildlife Clubs of Kenya. So for the young people who are out there, it's always good to offer your skills, even for free. So I started with Wildlife Clubs, volunteered. I was not being paid, so I just volunteered, and that volunteerism gave me my first job. So I was employed by an Israeli company to do the tourism marketing using internet. So that became my first interaction with tourism technologies, and I loved the thing, man. It was an eye-opener. It showed me great things in tourism, things that I don't even study in school. So ikajileta tu. So nikapata, I'm learning so many things about tourism, how to, because we were the first company to do search engine optimization and looking for cases. Hatukuwa na Facebook those days, hatukuwa na story na sijui Twitter, Instagram. Ilikuwa Google tu. So unachapa tu Google search engine optimization, unatafuta wazungu huko kwa internet. Then jioni tu unapata inquiries zimeanza kukuja, nataka kwenda Masai Mara 7 days. Nataka kwenda sijui wapi, So you would now start packaging those products. Unapeleka wazungu in different places. We never had a walk-in. Ati mgeni amekuja hivi amesema anataka kwenda. For the time I was there, ilikuwa tu ni internet. Mgeni ametua. So by the time mgeni anakuja ashalipa everything. Umeshamsort mahoteli nini. So then I had an opportunity to work for the government. So I worked for the government also, still in the tourism. And then I realized I have very strong potential that I need to put out there. So I decided to start my own companies that's now doing consultancy in tourism and also developing solutions in the market. So I started my first company, Mystical Concept Africa, purely doing consultancy in tourism. Then, but then I got an opportunity, technology, marrying technology to tourism. So I started a company called Torex Global, which we're still working on. We're developing the first hospitality and tourism exchange. Just like you see, when you know Forex, so itakuwa hivyo. Itakuwa hivyo, unafanya stories za Forex, lakini sasa commodities zenye utakuwa na trade, it will be hotel rooms, packages and cruise packages, tour packages and that and such. So it will be a very interesting solution once we roll it out. And then our recent kit in the block is HPass. HPass is when the COVID ilikuja, there has been a need for contactless solutions in the hospitality industry. So I started developing HPass slightly before COVID as an access identity and access management system. Then when COVID came, the need for contactless solutions for hospitality. So I was like, this is an opportunity. So we developed the solution, and it's actually being used here in Brazil. The digital menus they're using, the access at the reception, they're using our system, and other hotels around Nakuru and also some in Nairobi. So that is my small profile about tourism. So everything revolves around, for me, everything revolves around tourism.
That was an awesome profile, Francis Njue. So Francis Njue is our guest today. So on the right side ni Atesh ameenda kidogo tu, lakini lazima gurudumu tuendelee kusukuma. So in a short while he'll be back. So just to remind you, we are at Atesh Graphics in YouTube. Just aweka comment yako hapo hivyo, whatever the question you want to ask about tourism, uliza hapo ndani, any question. So any comment eka hapo ndani, we are going to tutasoma, tutakubig up. So just to remind you, we are at Bura Zenoni Hotel. Bura Zenoni is located at Barnabas, so a few meters kutoka kwa highway ya Nakuru Nairobi highway. Just Barnabas unaingia ona, ukitoka Nairobi just on the right side 20 meters. Ukitoka Nakuru ukifika hapo just 20 on the left side sasa 20 meters to Bura Zenoni. So Bura Zenoni always offers chakula good taste, inafika on time, hakuna ile kuchelewa. So we have a good receptions there. So we are at Bura Zenoni Hotel. Pia tukikumbuka the sponsors is a Shenji Barber Shop. Shenji Barber Shop is located at Shamot Plaza, 4th floor. Always they offer good service. Uta feel the value of your service, the value of your cash. So maybe back to our guest. Mimi nilikuwa na maswali kadhaa yenye nilikuwa nataka kuuliza about this industry part ya tourism. So tunaangalia like at the moment the whole world iko kuna hiyo impact, negative impact ya COVID. So ilete kaingilia. So did Kenya maybe na hiyo kampuni yenye umesema is a global exchange ya tourism part. So was it affected vile ilikuwa the part ya COVID and the current situation?
Wacha nianze na my personal experience ya COVID. We were in the process of doing the development ya Torex. So we were so busy having deadlines that by end of by mid 2020 tutakuwa tuna launch the first prototype kwa market nini, but that didn't happen because when lockdown started happening, restrictions here and there, there's so much that we could not do with the freedom that we had before COVID. So that was a serious effect because now it delayed our production. That is one. Globally, definitely, there has been a big impact. In fact, some of the countries up to date have not even opened their borders. Yeah. Luckily, in Kenya, we are moving up and down. A country like Rwanda, which we were intending to go there in June, in March next month, but unfortunately, we can't go because the measures, the strict measures of COVID are still happening. The first industry to be affected was airlines. Because when the borders were closed, people could only travel within their borders. And then later on, even the restrictions started happening in cities. For example, you can remember when COVID came, Wuhan was the first to go on total lockdown. If you're in Wuhan, you would not go outside the mainstream China. And then it was replicated because nobody knew about how to handle COVID. We were all learning, everybody, every country, everyone was learning. So there was a replication of what China had done in so many other countries. So we almost ended up using the Chinese formula to combat COVID. Some countries, of course, like our neighbors, Tanzania, said, no, let's just do everything, tourists come, let things remain normal. But in Kenya, we had restrictions, other countries, yes. So in terms of effect, yes, COVID has disrupted tourism industry. It has affected the investment, the jobs, the projections, virtually everything. We are completely in a new normal situation. It's an environment that we now need, and everybody else needs to really, understand how to go about it. So yeah, there's a lot of effect and impact in COVID. However, we can look at COVID in both the positive and the negative way. So not all is a doom and gloom as far as COVID is concerned. There are good things about COVID because it's all about mindset. This is not the first catastrophe or pandemic in the world. We had the other pandemics that have affected the world even before. Yeah. So it's how you look at it. It's how you set your mind in combating the effect of COVID. If you say I'm done, definitely you'll be done. If you say I'm gonna fight and come up with the new solutions and be innovative and move on, good. You could definitely fight that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from my understanding, if you umesema mara ya kwanza, the tour company that you're dealing on is a private, tunaweza iweka in a private way.
Yes, yes.
So inakuwa na impact gani government ilichukulia these pengine the private sector kama tourism mtu anaanzisha?
Yeah.
Kuna hiyo conflict between the government maybe sector and the private sector?
In Kenya, I would say Kenyans, we are lucky because tourism is more around 90% private. Tourism in Kenya, because most of the hotels, government owns very few hotels. All the other hotels are owned by private sector. Tour companies, I don't think there's a tour company that's owned by the government. All the tour companies are owned by the private sector. We have private conservancies. Yes, we have national parks owned by the government, but that's in terms of attractions. But majority of other attractions are outside the mandate of Kenya Wildlife Service. They are private conservancies, and there are so many. We have like Kenya Wildlife Conservancy Association, which is an association of all the conservancies. So there could be there's no like an open conflict in terms of government and the private sector in tourism. There's a lot of synergy, I would say, because there are bodies that regulate tourism in different sections. For example, we have Tourism Regulatory Authority, which does the regulations of any business, any tourism business, whether it's a tour company, whether it's a hotel like this one, whether it's the homestays, what people are calling B&Bs. The Tourism Regulatory Authority takes care of that. So if you're investing in a tourism facility, any investment in tourism, the first place you need to visit is Tourism Regulatory Authority. Don't start before you go there. Secondly, now we have the sustainability part of it, of now the tourism part, because there needs to be revenue for government to run tourism activities like marketing and all that. And that is where now tourism fund comes in. The tourism fund takes care of collecting revenues from the establishment like this one, and then they remit to the government, and then that money is used to help government run big projects, and also help in marketing of the tourism. So we have frameworks, I would say. Recently, what we didn't have before, we now have, which is something to take care of the MICE sector. That's meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, which is now the newest body, the tourism market in Kenya, which is now the Kenya National Convention Bureau, which is now coordinating all the meetings and conventions in the country. So there are frameworks. The Kenyan government has, I would say, has tried as far as creating tourism frameworks are concerned. Maybe what I would think, for this is my very personal view, is tourism needs to be devolved. Because it's not devolved, it's still a national government thing. I think if it's devolved, it can be better managed, or at least some sections of tourism be devolved, and maybe the rest can remain the national government. But there needs to be a framework where the counties have some very strong responsibilities as far as tourism is concerned, because right now the tourism still remains the national government affair. Yeah.
So this topic is so interesting. Tourism kwa watu wenye wanapenda kusafiri kutoka maeneo kadhaa kwenda ukitaka kutoka Nairobi, kutoka Nakuru uende Nairobi for any national thing, visit global, global. Yeah.
Yes.
So we are just going to give you the contact and the way utapata Bwana Francis Njue akupatie the way out. So with that we are just taking a short break. Then when coming back, we'll come with the hot deals just made for you.
Graphics is a premier media company that offers state-of-the-art photography, videography and printing solutions for all your events. We provide live coverage for weddings, birthdays, graduations and baby showers. We also organize indoor and outdoor photo shoots at Plush Natural Gardens. Get your photos mounted too at affordable prices. Call us today on 0725 372 509 or email us through ateshgraphics@gmail.com. You can also visit us on our social media platforms. That's Atesh Graphics. Atesh Graphics, quality is our priority. Atesh Graphics is a premier media company that offers state-of-the-art photography, videography and printing solutions for all your events. We provide live coverage for weddings, birthdays, graduations and baby showers. We also organize indoor and outdoor photo shoots at Plush Natural Gardens. Get your photos mounted too at affordable prices. Call us today on 0725 372 509 or email us through ateshgraphics@gmail.com. You can also visit us on our social media platforms. That's Atesh Graphics. Atesh Graphics, quality is our priority. Atel strikes the perfect balance between convenience and serenity. Our range of accommodation options will cater for most audiences and suit your budget. From families, couples, business travelers, tourists, persons on transit, we have got you covered. Our rooms are equipped with digital television sets, spacious wardrobes, working desks, complimentary instant coffee, among many more. Our conferencing facilities include fully equipped halls with state-of-the-art technology, internet, and so much more to suit your corporate meetings, board meetings, workshops, or trainings. We also provide custom event setups on request. Come and enjoy the scenic, beautiful panoramic view of the vast Nakuru landscape as you indulge in your favorite food and beverage from our rooftop lounge. Don't be cheated by the modern touch to the hotel. We specialize in an all-round authentic African experience featuring the most organic and scrumptious local dishes and cuisines. A standard room bed and breakfast starts from 2,500 Kenyan shillings. Book yours today on www.burahazenoni.com. Buraha Zenoni, where affordability meets quality of service. Buraha Zenoni, sky high comfort. Buraha Zenoni.
Viewers, nilikuwa nimeitwa na director kule nyuma kwenda kushughulikia vitu mbili tatu. Now I'm back with a bank. Thank you for holding for us the show. We are right here at Buraha Zenoni. Buraha Zenoni is a hotel and restaurant located at Barnabas on your way to Nairobi, on your way to Nakuru. Now, Ken,
Yeah.
and our able guest, mambo na tourism. Kumbe kitu ni wide hivi. Ni kubwa. Question. Hii time ya COVID, sasa naona kama COVID inapunga. Najua tunashukuru sasa watu wa Tole, tunashukuru sana sababu kamini imepatikana vaccine. Chanjo tutapigwa chanjo, tena turudi ni pass. I hope sasa tourism imeanza kupiga.
Exactly.
Imeanza kupiga. So hii time ya COVID, survival ilikuwa aje? Najua ilikuwa moto. Survival ilikuwa aje?
It was very interesting. Acha niseme.
Yeah.
But acha nianze na wale wasio wenyewe wameajiriwa kwa tourism. Ma waiters.
Now, you were saying something, Ken. Before that short interruption, kuna penye ulikuwa umefika na guest. Now, our guest, can you take us through na ya tumeona the challenge umesema especially waiters walikuwa na issue. Now, waiters walikuwa na issue and then now
Things are better now because hotels are almost, I don't think there's a hotel that has not been given the green right to open by the government. So any hotel that has complied and they were ready to reopen, they are now open. Then there are those that didn't close. They were lucky that they didn't close because the measures that are reopening were not as tough because there was no reopening per se for them. Those didn't close. For example, in Brazil, they didn't close shop.
Yeah, Buraha. By the way, Buraha tukufunga.
Yes.
Viewers, Buraha hiyo time ya COVID tumepambana nayo, hatukufunga, sisi tulipiga kazi. Tulisanitize. Hiyo story. Tulisanitize. Tulikuwa tu hapa tu. Dogo. Tulikuwa Buraha Zenoni was sanitizing. We were following government protocol. Nashukuru sana Mutai Kagwe alituambia to set measures. Buraha to set those measures na tukapiga kazi.
It's one of the hotels that really showed a lot of resilience.
Yeah.
The people would still sell in the rooms, meaning they would find a way of selling by adhering to the COVID protocols, and so they didn't have much stress to reopen, because they were not closed. But those who had reopened, now everybody can be able to open. The bars are also open, so long as they keep the social distance and observe the protocols. So the survival was some people changed jobs, I doubt they might. There are those who will not come back to tourism, but I believe they will come back. Tourism is a very lucrative industry, so people will come back. The challenge that is still persistent right now is on meetings, because especially the international meetings. people used to do big conventions, like MICE, big conventions that would attract the different countries coming to Kenya. Is still, at the moment, is still a challenge, not because of Kenya protocols, but because of the source country protocols. You find there are still some countries that are not open. So that is the challenge we are facing at the moment, but I believe we will overcome.
Yeah, kumbe bado. Na saizi tunaambiwa kuna another sijui ni COVID renewed ama sijui ni COVID remix. From which countries is
So wanasema is a phase 3.
Yeah.
Phase 3 ya COVID.
Ya
Sasa
COVID.
inakuja ni COVID type ingine tena.
other type of COVID. Na sasa hiyo nayo itakuwa aje?
I think if we survived this one,
Yeah.
which we didn't know what it was,
Yeah.
even the other one we will survive.
Amen. Turudi church tuseme let's shout amen. We are going to conquer that one.
So maybe tukiremain hapo hiyo kwa part ya hotels.
Yes.
So I had a question. Does the brand extension in hotel chains, so does it affect buying of visitors or customers?
Yeah.
The chain.
These are my group.
Yeah, the
chains.
group of hotels.
These are my-
So brand ukiangalia like Bra Zenoni, they have their brand. So na zingine pia.
Yes.
So ziko na brand yao.
Yeah.
Do you think it affects the decision of the customers?
There are two lines of brands. One is what you call the brand hotels. Call them brand hotels. Akina Best Western, Akina Kempinski, those they are chains. Akina Serenas of Kenya, Akina Sarovas, you find a Serena here, another one and another one. So those brand hotels. Then there's that one Kasingo unit like now Bra Zenoni, which is building its own unique brand on its own, but it doesn't have any other hotel somewhere. It's building its own unique brand. Call them standalone hotel. So they are before when tourism was for the, you remember wale wasi walikuwa navaa hizo ma Godfathers na zile nini za Godfather na ma boots na nini
Kama ma-cowboys.
Cowboys. Hizo days
Ukoloni mambo leo.
hiyo sasa those days tourism was like that. Brand was very important because mzee alikuwa anasema kama si Hilton siendi.
Yeah.
Kama si Serena, yani anataka abukiwe Serena Nakuru,
Serena Nairobi,
Samburu,
Serena.
Yani akianzia na Serena,
Amalize.
Anamaliza na Serena.
anamaliza na Serena. Unaona?
Yeah.
But sahi with the new generation, things have changed. People want to sample things. Anataka ende alale Bra Zenoni, asambu food yao nini on what's different. Akienda maybe is a circuit kama what you call the itineraries. You have a circuit of like 5 days. So nataka ukienda in a different place, you sample a different thing. So you'll find even if Bra Zenoni was in place like Kakamega, they saw that somebody will not go to Bra Zenoni in Kakamega. You look for something else because he wants a different taste, and that is the generation we have today.
Yeah.
Then there's a lot of influence on the internet reviews and all that, because reviews are more make decision making more than the brand. Unaweza kuwa na brand fiti sana, Kempinski or something, but msee tu comment kulikuwa na kitu mbaya in that place.
Wow.
Hakuna msee ataenda, unaona, because ataanza hii kitu inapatikana nini, ama maybe a guest was mistreated in a very high end place, then that review ikuje. Because people are trusting peer reviews. Even if I don't know you, but you have said something about this place, and you have been there, I will not risk myself going there. Yeah. So brand at the moment, I would not, people who are doing investment, I would not encourage, especially for the local brands, if you want to invest to do that serious branding of having, unless you're franchising. But if you have to build something like this from scratch and go another place, build something like this, it's not advisable. But if you can have this brand, build it very well, and then franchise, so that you don't use your own money to put up, but you
Another
can just, you can franchise. That can work.
Okay, viewers, I guess najaribu kutueleza for those who are in this industry ya hotel, you can build the name, now sell the name to other guys, but hapo kuna shida, naweza kuzia jina uchome.
Sasa hapo hivyo sasa ndio challenge iko, especially in Africa tuko ipo sana.
For example, let me take a scenario like first of all, wale ambao walifika kwa mkasa wa ajali ya Mololine, the family will say really sorry. Now let me take for example, you get like Mololine, we have those founders of Mololine. Maybe tulikuwa sisi watatu, we brought our vehicles, zikafika like 20, and then from there tukapata kuna wengine now we open, so they brought in their vehicles, wakabring, but tunawapatia jina Mololine, but this vehicle is not from us, it's from those are. So unaweza pata now from those wenye wamekuja, sasa hao labda wamekuja na motive si mzuri, amepewa ndio, but those wenye unapata ndio wanabeba excess, you get. But sisi hapo kwa sababu tuna ile norm yetu na sheria, tutapata tunazingatia ile kila kitu. But tunapata huyu amekuja, tumempatia opportunity, tumempea brand, anakulia pale ndani, but tunafika mahali, that's the thing I would say. Now ikifika kwa hoteli itakuwaje kitu kama hiyo?
Now what you do is you first, before you franchise, you have to vet this person, because this when you invest in a hotel, you see to akona do kidogo. So it's somebody that if he wants, he can implement every single rule your franchise. So you first set standards of your franchise, so that it becomes very strong. So if you not manage the franchise part, you do what you call management. For example, not all Sarovas are owned by Sarova.
Exactly. That my point now.
Yes, they are not owned by Sarova. But Sarova manages we call it hospitality management.
Hospitality management.
So
exactly.
Sarova in a manage hotel fulani, for example. So they adhere to the Sarova guidelines. It's under the Sarova structure. Umeshika?
Nice.
So
nice.
Messi kikuja ni Sarova brand ndio
inakuwa messed up.
Yes, unaona. But the owner of the place, what he has done is amebrand kila kitu Sarova, but pia amepeana management. Challenge inakujaga, umechukua jina lakini management ni yako. Unaona? So utapata unataka kupiga ma shortcut hapa. So zinachoma.
Ndio inachoma bora.
So that's
nice one.
Ndio unaona kina Hilton, they are very strict. If you're doing a Hilton, like Radisson Blu, zenye ziko Nairobi, si ati ziko owned by Radisson Blu, but the management unapata ni Radisson Blu ina manage kila kitu, wamechukua jina na wamechukua management.
So like our hotel here Bura Zenoni. So Bura Zenoni humble, imeanza tu very humble, haijaanza kitambo. So the name ikwe build vizuri, name ishike ground vizuri. So other hotel msee ametengeneza yake hoteli Samburu, na the thing like franchise wanaweza pewa the name Bura Zenoni, but now Zenoni is going to use the guideline and protocol of Bura.
Yes, in fact
to that hotel yenye iko pale Samburu. So hey viewers, hiyo iko sawa. Hey,
unajua sisi tunafikiria tu hoteli umeenda, umeingia tu unakula unatoka. Kumbe iko na mambo mengi tu hivi.
Meanwhile, before we go far, our director, we are talking about tourism and nini. I want you to give us that advert ya Bura Zenoni. Give us that advert. At least we can use that one to get some view example about mambo na tourism.
Exactly.
Mr. Director, patie.
Bura Zenoni, sky-high comfort. Buraha Zenoni is a state-of-the-art hospitality hub in Barnabas, Nakuru. Strategically located and 15 minutes away from the Nakuru CBD, the hotel strikes the perfect balance between convenience and serenity. Our range of accommodation options will cater for most audiences and suit your budget. From families, couples, business travelers, tourists, persons on transit, we have got you covered. Our rooms are equipped with digital television sets, spacious wardrobes, working desks, complimentary instant coffee, among many more. Our conferencing facilities include fully equipped halls with state-of-the-art technology, internet, and so much more to suit your corporate meetings, board meetings, workshops, or trainings. We also provide custom event setups on request. Come and enjoy the scenic, beautiful panoramic view of the vast Nakuru landscape as you indulge in your favorite food and beverage from our rooftop lounge. Don't be cheated by the modern touch to the hotel. We specialize in an all-round authentic African experience featuring the most organic and scrumptious local dishes and cuisines. A standard room bed and breakfast starts from 2,500 Kenyan shillings. Book yours today on www.burahazenoni.com. Buraha Zenoni, where affordability meets quality of service.
Yeah, tumeona that advert for Buraha Zenoni as mambo na tourism. At least the viewer should understand what tumechapa, tumeongelea tukachapa that advert. At least viewers wameelewa ni nini inaendelea. Ken, ulikuwa na kitu kwa the guest.
Yeah, it's just at first when you were talking about starting the comparison between the private sector, tourism, and the public sector. So kuna venye ulisema we have these policy makers, sindio? Whereby the private sector itabidi tu wamefuata at least wako on the safer side on the tourism when you're the private sector. So what are these disadvantages of tourism development and these policy makers, at least kama kuna zenye wameka strict sana wa minimize kidogo. So what are these disadvantages of tourism development? Disadvantages.
Okay, let me start by saying in Nakuru County we have 1,600 hospitality and tourism investments as at now. Before COVID, we were looking at employment of around 33,000 direct jobs that the Nakuru people are undertaking from the tourism sector. You can imagine what would have happened if all these investments were not there. We would be having 33,000 people without jobs in Nakuru County. Yeah. So the issue of investments, it's being realized mostly because of our mentality as Kenyans. We are copycats. We love kifungua club mahali na mimi nafungua next na ita jina ingine different na one word. Unaona? So we love copy pasting. Kifungua, for example, what you saw in Nakuru, this one we can mention. When Wasili came, then duplication of the Wasilis. When you find a place like Nairobi, there are not as many. So that is where the problem comes in. So because we don't want to think, so we just wait for somebody to
start something and then mom to go forward.
So we miss on the main opportunities. For example, in Nakuru, this city is becoming a city, right? We don't have a convention center where big meetings like Kigali Convention Center can happen. We don't. And nobody is looking at that. We are looking at Buraha Zenoni amefungua, hey, the guy is doing well. So nanunua shamba hapa next, nafungua haraka Buraha Zenoni. We instead of that money ingeka in another place. So as I was mentioning about now could evolve it come easy, it's because now our county can think about what are the main investments of tourism that we need in this place, so that they can advertise and say, if you are coming to Nakuru now, we have an opportunity for a convention center. And there's a body called Tourism Finance Corporation. Tourism Finance Corporation actually finances such projects. So wewe unaenda tu uko na land, uko na idea, this is what you want to do. Una present here. They give you the mediums to put up the property you want to do. It's a government body and it does that. So in terms of policies, those policies needs to be there so that we think a destination like a business where we need a convention center or we need something else, we can align this destination into that line. And then looking at, for example, there's a body called International Congress and Convention Association. It's a global network of meetings. So business meetings. So it gives a destination, the probabilities of how the meetings have been happening globally. And from that data you are able to rank and see, are we somewhere that we can tap into this? When Nakuru becomes a city, what will be known of Nakuru city? Because we know the county is the land of unlimited opportunities.
Yeah.
But what about the city? What will it be known for? Yeah. What will
Apart from like Nakuru.
Yes. What will attract people to the city? People who go to Kigali, they go to Kigali first convention center,
Yeah.
then other things follow. So can we package a city like Nakuru to have an identity of its own? So those are the things that now in the policy making needs to be very well outlined. Yeah.
Now, okay.
Yeah.
Where?
Ninaona maneno
Convention Center. But do you have one in Nairobi?
Tuko na KICC.
That's a
Tuko na
corporation.
KICC. Yeah, the rest ni private.
Kama gani?
So kuna moja iko Movenpick, hiyo niko kwa hoteli ndani. Alafu kuna ingine iko nini kuna this one this one coming up in GTC.
GTC, yeah.
This building that's coming up. This
So at least bado tunaweza hold conventions but Nakuru Nakuru governor pigia the structure tu ya the convention center. Tashukuru tu sana.
Convention center itapea hotels the accommodation.
The accommodation.
Yeah.
By the way.
And then the small meeting, because what happens, for example, in Kigali, and even in South Africa, which is leading in Africa as far as meetings are concerned, the convention centers feed the hotels with accommodation.
With the accommodation.
Yeah.
Nice one. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I think Nakuru County, there is an opportunity. So as we are going to the city, let's grasp that opportunity. Bura Zenoni, management, director, and everybody can buy that thing. We can convention center.
Unajua mimi hao ndio tourism huwa wananifurahisha sometimes.
Lakini kumbuka time imeenda. Director anatuambia tunakula time yake.
So like wanafurahia sana ikifika like hizi peak season hapa like April's mwezi wa 8 December so ndio at least customers wanakuja sana. Maybe I have just one question for you.
Yeah.
Ni like if wewe sasa you are in a tourism sector, if you were to invent a holiday, so unaweza iweka month gani, which date na unaweza itaje kwa calendar ya Kenya?
There's something we have done in the tourism sector. We've created a portal inaitwa Kenya Booking. KenyaBooking.com.
KenyaBooking.com.
Ukienda KenyaBooking.com saa hii iko na all the hotels za Nakuru. Now, hotels za Nakuru zinaweza create their own seasons kwa hiyo system. Wazite venye wanataka, hata ukitaka kuita Bura Zenoni holiday, you can do that. And now entice your customers to come to that particular special
time.
Yeah. So unapeana rates zako venye unataka. So ukienda tu KenyaBooking.com una create profile yako as a hotel. Then wase wana book you can create anything from there.
Yeah, you unataka happy hour. So for those who create your happy hour. So viewers, we are coming to the end of our show. But remember, after this show, we are having another show from 4 to 5 p.m. Nakumbuka leo ni Valentine. Ken? Nakumbuka leo ni Valentine. And then viewers, remember on our show, we told you that last time from the previous show, tutakuanga na news. Nini will happen over the week. So from here, let's say 1, 2, 3 things to our director. Director, kazi nzuri sana umefanya. Good one, najua huwa mkwengi appreciated pale nyuma. Now our guest, a parting shot to our viewers. Angalia kamera hapo. Ambia viewers.
Parting shot yangu number 1, happy Valentine when you celebrate. When you celebrate, manze sina parting shot. For tourism players, especially in Nakuru, city inakuja, city is real. Airport inakuja, it's real. Na dual carriage inakuja, it's real. So kuna opportunities mingi sana. Now that Nakuru is the fastest growing city. Kama uko anywhere na unataka kuinvest ama unataka kuishi, Nakuru is the place. Get something in Nakuru, get a foothold in Nakuru. Thanks, man.
Yeah, Ken.
Yeah.
Ambia viewers hii mambo na tourism ni nini?
So just to wind up the show, the show, tumekuwa educated yenyewe sana so about this tourism sector.
Kizungu nayo.
So kufikia hapo maybe mimi kinyeneza tu the viewers, we've really enjoyed your time here. Na kwa in any tourism, so you can start your own tourism company so long as tumefuata zile protocols that tumeambiwa that lazima upate the guidelines from the tourism sector that's governed with the nations, ndio. So yeah, mimi I don't have much to add.
Thank you very much, Mr. K. Now to Senji Barber Shop. Kijana anapatikana pale Shamut Plaza. Good haircuts. Thank you very much for supporting the show. Our host Bura Zenoni. Tunapatikana Barnabas on your way to Nairobi, on your way to Nakuru. From the highway, just 20 meters. Ingia pale. Kafi kushika mali ya Bura Zenoni. Lala food ni ya kienyeji, iko fiti kabisa. Atesh Graphic, thank you for giving us this platform. From the YouTube channel, the Facebook, Atesh Graphics, subscribe and like our page. Thank you very much. Let us meet on our next big show, Mambo na Valentine. Thank you very much.